Super Idol de Charo, domain to 10 by Chung for the
Absolute fucking peak, guys. I knew this was gonna be my game of the year. I'm sorry, I knew it. I knew it. Listen, I knew Dragon Age wasn't. I was scared. I was just shut up about that, okay? We look to the future. Anyways, absolute peak. They had 33 devs working on this fucking game. 33. Only 33 people made this fucking game. Guys, it's only like it's not like Larian had like a not a lot of people. It was like 100 people in Larian. Still not a lot. And they made a big ass game. These niggas did the same. Well, BG3 is on a different level, but the quality and shit for 33, my nigga. Actually, like I would be embarrassed if I'm a AAA dev, bro. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. Y'all been putting out slop for all these fucking years. Y'all getting outclassed by fucking 33 devs. And these are ex Ubisoft devs, right? So we're gonna get into the review. You already know I'm very positive about the game. And I got some notes down. I got some notes, so we prepared. We prepared. There is gonna be spoilers, obviously. I might say a spoiler or two during the beginning, like, saying everything. And then once I go towards the end of the video, I'm going to be like, all right, spoilers galore. Like, I'm going to do my ultimate yap session. I'm already doing that right now. But anyways, yeah, so be warned, spoilers probably in every part of the video. I'll try and keep it at the end, but you have been warned. Like, this game is very lore heavy and very, story driven. So it is very, important. Let's just start with the story, because that's the whole point of the game. That's why it's so fucking peak. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And we just gonna go through the notes like this. Yeah, bitch. We just doing this down the line. We gonna roll with this, bitch. We ain't editing. Well, I mean, editing it like some footage together, but I mean, that's pretty much it. Anyways, but if you knew like literally nothing about the game at all, you would be like, I envy you. I wish I was you in a way, right? Because like, that's all how a lot of big streamers are finally like playing the game now and catching on. They're like, holy shit, this game is peak. Well, I wish I was them and like knew pretty much nothing, because it's pretty like, guys, the story is actually insane. Like, that shit is fucking. It's like anime level, bro. Right. But it's just fucking expect the unexpected. In my sense, though, because I watch a lot of animation, I'm scrolling to my notes. It keeps like fucking. But in my sense, if you watch like a lot of anime, like Solo Leveling, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, shit like that, where the story's like actually insane, like really good lore, and like crazy, pretty bloody in a sense. You won't really be surprised. You'll be like, oh yeah, this motherfucker is. Yeah, and then it turns out to be, oh yeah, suspected it in a way. That's kind of how I felt, but it didn't really take away from like enjoying the story or anything, right? Like that's fine. That just goes to show like how good they are at doing this shit, right? Because I think anime in a sense is one of like the best media in terms of storytelling, like peak stories and lore and shit. Like they just do it better in Japan, man. They really do. I'll just say what the main synopsis of the story is, or whatever, like what they did in the trailer. So basically, you're in Lumiere, right? Lumiere is like a little island that got kicked off, during the fracture, what they call it, which happened 67 years ago. And ever since 67 years ago, there's this lady, they call her the paintress, basically. Each year she paints like a different number. She goes from 50 to 49, 49 to 48. She just keeps counting down. And if your age is like that number, you're gone. Oh yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're dead. In a way, you just float away like fucking petals or some shit. And this year it went from 34 to 33, and that's why the game is called Expedition 33, because every time a new number or each year goes by, they paint a new number. They have a little expedition that goes out and tries to kill the paintress because she's killing everybody. Why? We don't know. I mean, you don't know that in the beginning. That's the whole point of the game, essentially. That's why you're playing the game. Anyways, yeah. So basically, in the beginning of the game, the main character named Gustav and That other girl, she looked really pretty though. She was like, pure French Parisian style. She looked cool. Anyways, yeah, she was 33, and if you're 33, you gone because Expedition 33. I mean, she painted at 33. I mean, what else you want me to do? Like, what else can you do except for try and kill the paintress? And that's the whole point of the game. So, yeah, that's basically it. Anyways, I actually thought the game would be a little bit more like Attack on Titan, like when it started off, in a way, because it kind of reminded me of it. Like, they're kind of isolated and shit like that. No, not really. It probably took some, like, that trope from it, or somewhat in a way, but no, it wasn't like Attack on Titan at all. I was expecting a little bit more like Attack on Titan. I was like, oh no, okay, it's kind of not like that. Oh yeah, and so kind of early on in the game, maybe like an hour or two in the game, you come across the manor. Ooh, the manor is so spooky. It's like a random house, like a random door you go through. And it leads to like a big ass house, and it's a really interestingly made house. It's like all black and shit. Not that I don't like black. I love the blacks. Yeah. Anyways, and I pretty much suspected, and so here comes the spoilers, right? We just going into the spoilers. You're gonna get spoiled, okay? Like, I don't care anymore. Anyways, yeah, I suspected it was the paintress's house. It kind of is in a way. The story is actually insane when you go to the ending, right? It's pretty insane. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like, I really love the aesthetics of the story and shit, bro. But that's all I'm gonna say right here. But yeah, it pretty much is the paintress's house, in a way. And then you meet like a girl with a mask, and that turns out to be, very, very, yeah, I predicted that too. It's crazy. Like, I say this in like every review I make somewhat, because I kind of predict what happens, and it happens. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I should be making my own stories at this point. Shit. The girl in the mask, and then you meet oh yeah, and on the beginning of the game, you see, oh wait, there's an old guy. Yeah, I'm like skipping over some things. But yeah, you see like, oh wait, it's an old guy. What is his name? Anyways, yeah, why is he still alive? We don't fucking know yet. So yeah, that happens. And then you meet, yeah, so the girl in the mask, and then him, yada yada. And then you meet the noble in the manor. Yeah, pretty creepy. He gave like Withers vibes. He pretty much is a Withers. He literally is a Withers. I like how, well, in the end, you pretty much find out what he actually is. But like in games like this, usually the crafting guy. This is like in Dragon Age Origins. Like you have Enchantment. Forgot his name. Kind of. I don't want to say Velgard, but they did have that in Velgard too. Yes, cringe. Yikes. Anyways, yeah, it's just always spooky, benevolent being, not benevolent, but, omnipotent type of vibe being you don't know anything about. So yeah, he upgrades your items and shit when you go to the camp. The camp is a place where it's just a camp. If you played RPGs, you can pretty much summarize what it is. It's just a place to chill out. You rest up, you upgrade your weapons, upgrade your Lumina and other perks and skills. Go into that in a second. Yeah, so you do shit like that. Pretty cool. The game overall is pretty linear, which I appreciate that, and it's also pretty fucking short, which I kind of appreciate that too, because Oblivion wanted to fucking come out of nowhere, and yeah. So that was I didn't even play Oblivion because I'm just like, Expedition 33, I heard it was kind of short. You might as well just do that first. But it was pretty short. You could definitely 100% finish that game. I got to the end game at 20 hours. Probably would have took another 5 hours. I could have finished it at 25 hours on the mark, but I spent an extra 5 hours doing side quests and shit. But yeah, I mean, the game overall is pretty linear. There is some like, oh, you're supposed to go straight, but then there's two other pathways. One pathway is probably a dead end with like a small mini boss and like some loot. Another pathway is probably a little bit longer, but nothing crazy. And then you just go, yeah, so that's pretty much like every area. There's just a couple of pathways you go down. If you want to, you can just go fucking straight. There's always enemies in front of you and shit. You get to battle, so yeah, that pretty much takes up most of the time in the game. I mean, as suspected. I mean, that's the only thing you have in terms of like side things to do in the game. Like, the game is pretty story driven, which I appreciate that. right? And there are side areas and like the overall like continent map world thing that you could do shit in. Some stuff unlocks after you beat the game, like certain abilities and shit that makes you go to like be able to go into water or like go into like big castles in the sky and shit like that. Yeah, so we'll talk about that one later. Anyways, yeah, but I finished the game in 31 hours. But yeah, I did make it to the end 19 hours. Could have finished it at 25, but yeah, I was just like, all right, let me do some side shit, right? Let me just explore a little bit. And yeah, I farmed for like a good 5 hours and stuff. They do have like some little mini games and stuff with the gestrals and shit, like the little gestral beast shit. You can get like different outfits for your characters and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It was a little annoying. I think there's like I was trying to get the Lune swimsuit outfit that everyone is like trying to get. I know, I know. I can't. I could not escape the Lune swimsuit outfit, bro. But it oh my god, I got so close. Like it's like a little Minecraft parkour type shit, right? That shit pissed me off. It was kind of weird with like the jumping and then like the grabbing on the platforms and things. It's not janky, but it's kind of annoying in a way. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I was just like, bro, sure, whatever. But I got other outfits and stuff. I can character, you can go to character select and you can like customize your character and it's just, it's fine, whatever. Anyways, but now that we're talking about Lune, let's talk about the actual characters. Gustav, yeah, main character, Tatake ass nigga. Yeah, basically that's essentially him. Tatake, where's Mayel? Where's Omni Man? Where's Mayel? Tatake type shit. Mayel, ginger kid, Jennifer English, pretty much it. Lune, Asian fine shit, committed to the cause. She don't give a fuck. If something, she would sacrifice. She would sacrifice somebody in the crew just to save everybody else. And I mean, that's the obvious thing to do, but she's just one of those motherfuckers that are just like committed to the code, the rules type shit. But she's not superly crazy like that. Like she chill in a way, kind of like a researcher type shit. Oh, and she played the guitar. She played the guitar, but most people just know her as Asian fine shit that doesn't have shoes on. Why does she not have shoes on? I don't know. Is it because she flies? Well, she's on the ground multiple times. It's not like she's in the I'll give it a pass if she's in the air, like flying, like most of the time. But she's on the ground most of the time, She flying around, but it's just like 50-50, most of the time, right? So I don't know why. Is it because it helps her fly? I don't know, but she probably got some crazy ass bunions, my boy. Anyways. Then you got, CL. I think that's her name. Was that her name? I forgot. Anyways, she's a farm girl. She's kind of gingerish, not in a way. But, she's pretty much Applejack. She's pretty positive in a way, carefree. She's pretty chill. She's pretty chill. She apparently has a husband and a kid, but I think her husband's dead, and then her kid it's in an orphanage or something. I don't fucking know. Anyways, some shit like that. She don't really be talking about it though. So yeah, that's just shit. She be talking about that Verso nigga. We might as well just Verso is that nigga that you pick up later in the game. She's also gonna be a character you pick up later in the game too. But yeah, and they be fucking, not gonna lie, they do be fucking, not wrong with that, but, it's kind of like, she was wondering, like, oh, I can get my husband and my kid back, and, oh, well, kick rocks, nigga. That's how it felt like. Monaco based as fuck, he's a gestural, I think, yeah, pretty sure. The gestrals are like, little niggas in big ass suits, essentially. Yeah, you'll come across a lot of them. They're basically the only somewhat friendly things outside of Lumiere once you go exploring, like on expedition. So, yeah. But yeah, Monaco basis, well, he pretty cool. I like his moveset too. We'll talk about that later. Noko, Donnie Thornberry, pretty much. SK, Big Hero 6, fluffy guy. Likes turtle nigga, but turtle nigga doesn't like him back. Interesting. But anyways, so no, but they all have like good stories, good backgrounds. You know, they're all like, you know, I wouldn't mind having any of them in my party and shit. Like they're all pretty chill. The funny part is, well, I guess maybe because Verso and Gustav are like the main niggas, like, you know. I mean, they got their backstory and shit, sure, but they're not as interesting as everybody else, right? Um, Verso for a good reason. Gustav, I mean, it's just like, it's like, you know, I'll be watching anime, right? I'm a weeb, okay, I'm a weeb, but you know, usually the main guy is just like, he's just a guy. He's literally just a guy. He don't got anything else to him. Gustav, no, he got good. He's a good top to K ass little nigga. Yeah, he alright. Verso, he alright too. I just think those two are like the most plain out of everybody else in terms of personality. They're cool though. Like I don't really fucking hate those. Right? Nothing against them. All right. Anyway, so now that we got that out the way, combat. Uh, I like the combat. Yeah, I like I like the combat. Yeah, my mom was coughing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Liked it. The dodging, parrying. It's a little annoying at first. You get over it, right? Like when you get more into the game, you get used to it. You get used to it, right? But there is some downfalls with it, right? Like even after getting the hang of it, it's still tough to like do when you're fighting at times, you know, because enemies be hitting fast as fuck, bro. Like I swear to God, Jesus Christ, and like every time you like, this is just like non-negotiable. You're gonna meet new enemies, and you're gonna die a couple times or take a lot of good hits. You know, probably have to replay some parts because you got to learn their move sets and shit. And because you don't know their move sets, like you're just gonna you have to tank the hit. Like you have no choice, bro. Like you're fucked. You're gonna have to tank the hit. There's nothing else for you to do, right? You just gotta tank the hit. Waste your time. I wouldn't say it's a waste of time, you know, but well, it kind of is in a way. But that's just how the game is set up. That's just how it is, you know, the turn based in that sense. I like how every character, like in your party, has a unique style. It's kind of like, you know, you get used to it in a sense. You learn Gustav, you learn Lune. Mayel was I was like, what the fuck is Mayel? What the fuck, Mayel? What the fuck? The hell? But then I got used to it, right? I'm just like, okay, then you learn CL. I'm just like, okay, it's pretty similar in a sense, right? But it's still a lot to understand in a sense. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But you get used to it, right? You play them one time, you're just like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, let me do it this way the next time. You're like, okay, you pretty much got the hang of it in a way, right? But yeah, it is a lot to take in. It seems like a lot in terms of like, I guess like understanding how they move and shit, like what they're best good at, you know, right? Shit like that. But yeah, I would say my favorite out of the bunch in terms of playstyle, I kind of like, I mean, Lune, she's just a fucking mage, right? But she but I would, CL is the most OP. She's OP as fuck. Yeah. Once you get, the first match you get into her, like with a fight, you immediately pick her up and then you get into a battle. She does the max amount of damage, which is like 9,999. God damn, what the fuck? So you're pretty much maxed out at CL already. You don't really gotta do shit in terms of anything else with CL. Like, do you need a new weapon? No, not really. I mean, maybe sure, but you don't really gotta upgrade that bitch. I mean, if you do it that right off the rip, like holy fuck. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I like CL's little thing because I mean, because it's that easy. I wouldn't say. I would say Monaco. I really like Monaco. Yeah, I liked his kit. The world design, graphics, and environment. French galore. Like it French galore, bro. Based in France, you know, around Paris and stuff. A fucked up Paris, but very beautiful in a sense. It has like a lot of good environments and stuff. The art style is really, really good. The overall theme of the game is just like peak, man. It's just peak. It's fucking gorgeous. Reminds me of other games too, like, you know, in terms of the art style. We'll get to that in a second. It's not a bad thing, I'm just not mentioning it yet. Oh, and their heads are huge as fuck. It's not like, I mean, like, I notice it, but I'm just like, okay, that's just like, you know, that's just how everybody looks in the game. Like, in terms of like that's just a style. It's just a style, right? That's just how it is. And Veilguard, Veilguard, it shouldn't have been. I felt like in Veilguard, it shouldn't have been that way. I mean, it was a style, but their heads definitely could have been a bit smaller. Here, it's all right. It's yeah, it's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine. Big old heads, big ass heads. Goddamn. Anyways, but yeah, beautiful environments. You can go underwater. There's like a desert area that reminds me of a crumbling Azula, and there we go. We mentioned the game Elden Ring, right? Okay. Anyways, yeah, I don't play Final Fantasy, so there's like other. Yeah, because they took their shit from Final Fantasy, like, you know, inspirations and stuff. I never played it, so I can't really draw comparisons, but I've seen, like, a lot of Elden Ring influences, right? Because it's been 3 years, so I'm pretty sure they took some shit from that. Because it seems pretty damn obvious of some of the things. I'm just like, oh my god, this is like the fucking... you know, we'll get to that, but yeah. And that's how the game is good. Yeah, you take from software... There you go. You got Peak on your heads. Enemies are all unique, you know. It's not like Avowed, where I'm playing Avowed right now. Yes, I know I should be playing Oblivion, but I started on Avowed. I paused it just to play Expedition 33 because I knew that was shorter. I gotta get out the way before I get spoiled online by these motherfuckers. It's the best thing to do. Get out the way. And now I'm trying to get Avowed out the way. But Avowed... Jesus Christ, I'm already preparing for that review. Avowed, you fighting bears, you fighting lizards. It reminded me of Dragon's Dogma 2, you fighting the same niggas over and over again. Here, oh, you getting, it's different flavors, baby, bro. Like, yeah, different, bro. I love it. No samey moves, no different enemies. All have different fighting patterns that you gotta learn. You know, that's why I'm like, you gotta just take the hits and learn the moves because they're all different, which is, I appreciate that. That's good though. That's good. Always something fresh in new zone, you know, so forces you to swap characters out. You know, some of them got resistances and shit, which is good though because you know, you might be playing the same 3 characters, maybe because they're like the most OP. Well, CL is pretty much OP. Goddamn. But yeah, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I love my CO, man. I'm pretty sure that's her name. I'm pretty sure I almost forgot SK's name, guys. Yeah, I finished the game like a week ago. This could have been out like, yeah, a little week ago, like Sunday. I finished the game last Sunday, but I just wanted to chill on it. Just I didn't want to rush it. Music. Mon ami, oh, lovely, baby, Peak. Absolute Peak. It's Peak, but like I wasn't superly into it, funnily enough. Like at least, like I liked it. Like, you know, I don't know what I'm humming, but yeah. Like I didn't hate any of them, but I only really liked a select few, you know. But I do really appreciate the little music player at the camp. You know, where you upgrade your weapons and chill out and stuff. That was pretty cool. Oh, you also like get your relationship levels up, like when you talk to characters when you're at camp. It's pretty cool because you get like perks for you know, you go out into the wild and shit, skill ability points and shit that helps you out in the world and stuff. Like, yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, you get different things from that shit. You learn more about the people who you're traveling with, which is very important. You don't want a serial killer on your hands. I'm trying to think of anything else you really do at camp, but you really don't. I mean, like, there's like gestrels that you pick up around the world, and they're just like in this one area. It's like, oh, did you find the other 5 gestrels? No, I didn't. I think you get a reward at the end, but I never found them all. I only found like 3 or 4. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You got that, you got the little... It's nothing crazy. You don't really need to stay at camp for too long, right? No need to divvy up the place. I mean, like, it's not like Felguard. You got your whole house, you got a whole rug, you got a whole fucking big-ass TV and shit. No. where they don't take life and death seriously, right? We need a break. We need to take a couple weeks break while everyone's dying and like, you know, suffocating and shit. Here, it's more realistic. You don't really take breaks. I mean, you go to camp, you got that little music player thing. I mean, that's just because we want to listen to the music. Like, they understand, you know, games like this, the music is pretty fucking fire, so that's why that's there. But yeah, and then you go about your day. You don't really customize or anything. It's just more of like a, you know, get back to work, little nigga type shit. No, I appreciate that because they really put the main story up front, which is very important in RPGs and games, and you know, a lot of them don't be doing that nowadays. It's side quest galore. Avowed. Actually, Avowed is. I'll talk about that later. It's very grindy though. I will say. Anyways, now here's the issues they have with the game. Okay, we're just gonna go down the list, and then we're gonna end up talking about the end game too. In the beginning of the game, they throw a bunch of info at you, right? With the story, the perks, the combat, all of that shit. Jesus, I'm just like, oh lordy, like, it's a lot to take in. The story, I'm just like, okay, like I'll come to understand it, but then with the perks and the combat, it kind of was like that. Like, I'll come to understand it. That's why I was just like, okay, sure. Like, when it came to like the menu and looking at people's weapons and the pictos and the luminas, I was just like, alright, bro, like I'll learn as I keep going back into the menu to upgrade, you know, some things or try and switch some things up or equip some things, right? Like, it'll happen, right? You learn by experience, right? So it'll happen naturally, right? That I understand these things. The lumina shit was kind of, you know, I didn't really understand until like maybe like 7 hours into the game or some shit, which is like halfway through the game, low-key. Yeah, it was like, I kind of understood the concept, right? But I just didn't fully understand it because they didn't really explain it well, in my opinion. I don't even think they showed the actual place where the Lumina shit was, right? Because like, I'm on Xbox, right? And I gotta like, okay, we'll just use the Xbox One remote. Oh, sure. That has no batteries in it. Yes, I know. Xbox. Anyways. Yeah, so I gotta click the fuck. I gotta hold down the thumbstick just to open up the menu. I didn't even know that was I didn't know it had another menu to that shit, right? I had no clue. I didn't fucking know, so. Yeah, it's just on the side of the screen. It's real tiny. I didn't understand. Anyways, yeah, it's just like stuff like that. It wasn't as bad as Avowed though, right? And it wasn't superly a big issue because the game is pretty somewhat like straightforward in a sense, right? It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of options to do things or like upgrades, enchantments. Like, everything is pretty basic in a way, but it works out. It is perfect. Like, it's not too much, it's not too little. So that's why I was like, okay, you know, everything going on, that was fine. Oh yeah, enemies fast as fuck, yeah. I already said that. But the enemies are fast as fuck when they attack at times, right? Sometimes I don't even be expecting it. And then sometimes you gotta, not sometimes, like more half of the time at least, you gotta like understand like the random captions up top, or big booty Patricia's gonna do a light attack, or big booty Patricia has ate ice cream or some shit. It's like, oh, what does she do when she eats ice cream or some shit, right?
A bit of violence, yes.
You gotta remember, oh, she does a fast attack on this one, and this one is like a 5-hit attack, and that last hit, it goes slow as shit, and it's just like different fucking captions, right? Like, it's some fucking Elden Ring shit. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, at least they make it somewhat apparent like that, right? They just show little different captions up top. Sometimes it's like, oh, Butter Biscuits is doing a light attack, or like a slow attack, or like a fast attack, right? Or like a one-hit combo. Or sometimes it's just like, Big Booty Patricia is eating ice cream. Like, what? Anyways. Fucking hell. So yeah, it's just shit like that. You get used to it, right? It's like it's also a combination of like, you know, because you gotta dodge and parry. That's like the whole point of the game, right? You dodge and parry, you gotta be perfect. You gotta be perfect. That's the whole point of the game. So some stats are useless, like might. You don't want to level that. You'll just level everything else, right? You want to level with your weapon too. I mean, you can respect too. Like I don't think I ever respected in the game, and I collected like at least 20 respect tokens or whatever the fuck they're called, crystals. Unless you respect. So yeah, you don't have to pay like money for it. Like it's a different like little thing you collect, but you get a lot of them. I didn't need any of them, right? If I was going for a specific build, then yeah. If I wanted a specific build, I was pretty like okay with my builds, right? Had a lot of leftover ability tokens, points and shit, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, so you gotta be like somewhat with the might. You just level speed. I think isn't speed is it called speed? Yeah, because then you get more turns and it's a turn-based game. Like that's the most important thing. Health kind of depends. If you're on like nightmare mode or whatever the fuck it's called, the hardest mode, you're getting one shot at anyways probably. So you might as well just get speed or something, right? Because the whole point of the game is like dodging and parrying, so you got to be like good with timing and shit. And with me, or with the game, you gotta like have to feel the rhythm of like the sound, right? Because they have a little sound where it's like zoing, and then you press the parry button, right, or like the dodge button to get a perfect dodge or parry, like to know the right moment. And then you also have to look at what the enemy is doing, right? To, you know, because some people are bad with rhythm. A lot of people are bad with rhythm, right? So they gotta, you know, yeah, visually look at it. Me, I kind of, it's like a mix, but a lot of the time I just be going by like the sound. It was weird, you know, towards the end of the game, I was going by sound alone. That wasn't gonna cut it, low key. For some of those bosses, it wasn't gonna cut it. So I had to actually like look at their fucking hand movements and shit, which you should be doing in the first place anyway. It's like, you know, the hell am I looking at anyways? What am I doing? But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, definitely level up. I would say vitality, speed, and luck, whatever the fuck it is. There's another one too, or two more, but whatever. Yeah, those very important. Have to be almost perfect when fighting motherfucker. Towards the end game or even before. But yeah, I mean it's not a huge issue because again I'm a musician, so like I play instruments. I do all of that shit. You know I like to do. I like to do. I like the art. Okay, my reed is like, I need to take this reed off. Holy shit. Sorry, yeah, I got my rotators in the mouth too. I can't really. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I like to do. So, I mean, it's still annoying as shit though, right? Because certain things just shouldn't be happening. In terms of combat. Other than that, let's see. Let's just keep going. Damage stops at 9k until you beat the game. So yeah, at a certain point of leveling up, right? Because you get CL, she immediately does the max damage. So I'm just like, okay, bitch. Like, do your own thing. I'm gonna put my leveling into other characters. You know, you can chill. Yeah, so you might as well, like it feels like certain, like, points are useless in terms of leveling up. So you probably have to switch up your comp in a way, right, to make the most out of it. You can fast travel like to different expedition flags, right? Because in each little area you have like little expedition flags that you set down. You can say like expedition 49 or 69. There's a 69. Nice. Yeah, so you go to each point and all get like, you can fast travel throughout that whole area. But that's it. That's all the fast travel. You go to the main continent world and you're traveling on eventually you'll travel on SK if you didn't know that. You'll travel on SK and get around faster and get to certain points of the certain areas, you know, that he allows you to travel to. But you can't fast travel in that world. You got to go through it like on your own. So yeah, it's not like a too much of an issue, but yeah. Oh, so there's no map. So I kind of be getting confused. I'm just like, where the fuck am I going? Did I go down this way? Yeah, there's no big map or anything, except for like in the overworld there's a map, but that's about it. The map in like the certain places you go, no, there's no map. It'd be very useful because that's where I need it. Holy shit, like I would love it, man. Holy fuck. Because I just keep going down the wrong exits, you know, there's like different pathways and shit. Slight bugs. I would say there was only one part, and thank God there's like a Reddit forum for it. They're like, yeah, just some people just got stuck there, like they couldn't do anything, like they didn't know any other things to do. I think you had to reload you had to reload the save. Like it was in a little end game type of area, side area. After fighting the boss, this little motherfucker just spawns out of nowhere. He blocks the exit so you can't leave. He shouldn't even be in the area anyways. I don't know why he's there. But yeah, they probably patched that already. I mean, you just gotta reload the save, essentially. That's the main thing of note. Oh, there's also like, there's certain areas in the little over continent world that you go to that aren't really fighting areas, but it's just like a little chill area. Just maybe have like a little codex, and that's pretty much it. I kind of got stuck, so I had to like reload a save because my characters got stuck in that world. Like I went too far behind a tree or something. It's weird with the, you know, with the camera you can see. I probably have it on screen right now, but yeah, pretty weird. Anyways, but yeah, it's not really any bugs in general. Like it's pretty chill. I didn't get crashed out or, you know, DC'd or anything. It was pretty cool. Now we're talking about the end game. You could tell that they were inspired by Elden Ring, 100%. Oh yeah. Even like before the boss fight with the Paintress, right? Yeah, we're going to spoiler territory. I mean, eventually you're gonna fight her anyways, guys. Come on now. Well, what if we do Naruto route and make friends and hold out our hands, like type shit? No, but yeah. So the old Lumiere area had a lot of little light daggers everywhere. I'm just like, nigga, that's the Erdtree. That's Queen America's fucking daggers, my nigga. What? You read the Elden Ring, the Elden Beast daggers. Or anyway, yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, definitely they took it from them. It really feels like it. There's no hate to it, but like no hate. Like I'm glad they did shit in a way, but yeah, it definitely Elden Ring vibes like on those parts of the map. Oh yeah, the ending area when you're going up to the Paintress also like gave Erdtree vibes. It felt like another part of Erdtree in a sense that I was climbing up or like going through. You know, it felt like the Erdtree. It felt like a little bit of Lindell Capital, a little bit. You know, it just gave those vibes. You know, and in the end, like Mayel also moved a little bit like Millennia. I think it's Millennia. It was, yeah. She moved like Millennia, like, you know, her little 3-dash thing, like she go up in the air or whatever the fuck, she be flying around and shit. Yeah, Millennia. Gingers, am I right? Anyways, apparently gingers are black now. Yeah, it's some weird TikTok thing. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So when I went to the ending, right, I'm finished. I'm like, all right, so this is probably gonna take maybe like another 2 hours or so, right? You know, I'm going up to the Paintress, gonna fight the Paintress, and maybe some other motherfucker comes out of nowhere. Sure, why not? I was wrong. It took another 6 hours since I went to quote unquote fight the Paintress. It was like a whole. So when you go into the Paintress's area, like where she's at, you go through a portal, and essentially it's like all of your environments that you've went through the entire game is like bundled up, like it's like a smaller version of it. You go through each level, like this is the Spring Meadows level, this is the Gestural Village level, this is the whatever the fuck level, right? So it's just like just areas of your past journey and stuff, and the bosses are just like, or not bosses, but the enemies are just like beefed up a little bit, right? You know, it's just signified like the end of the game, yada yada type shit. Anyways, I was fine, but Jesus, it was another 6 hours. I was not expecting that. I wanted to end the game at 4 p.m. at the latest. I ended it at like 11:30 p.m. Yeah, well, I did have a friend over for like a couple hours, like 2 hours or so, right? But still, goddamn, holy shit. Yeah, so it was just many final bosses. It was like final boss after final boss after final boss. I was like, holy shit, goddamn! I thought the game was gonna end like 3, 4 different times. But yeah, it kind of forced me to keep on going to games. I'm just like, I'm kind of in the end area. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of fighting. Like, you know, I'm just like, let me just finish this right now. You know, because I might as well do it now. Like, I just might as well do it now. So it kind of forced me to play the game. So I ended up playing the game for like the entire day, which is fine. I like Expedition 33, but holy shit, man, I played it for like I added like an extra 11 hours on that bitch. It was a good 11, 12 hours. So yeah, that was fun. But the last two bosses, there's bosses after the paintress, right? You kill the paintress, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be a second phase or whatever, or even a third phase, whatever it is, final boss. There's more niggas after her. There's more niggas after her. So there's more final bosses, but I'm gonna specifically talk about the last two bosses, right? So you know the Renor nigga. Yeah, you fight him multiple times, right? So you fight him again, right? He's the final boss, but before him, it's the horse nigga. The horse nigga, you cannot heal. You can't heal. He puts some sort of exhaustion or some shit on. I don't know what the fuck it is. But he put something on you. You can't heal, so that took an hour of my time. That was a little annoying. I was thinking, all right, that's the final. He's like, I used up all this power. This is my most powerful enemy, whatever. You gotta fight, type shit. And no, I fight Renor again. I think that's his name, Renoir. Jesus. And then he has like, oh man. Okay, so let's talk about the horse nigga. Horse nigga was annoying. He couldn't heal. I think that was the guy I couldn't heal with. So that was annoying. Anyways, you get to the final boss. You get to Renoir, and the thing about Renoir, you fight him like 3 other times before you get to the final fight with him. You fight him 3 other times in the game, which is crazy, absolutely insane, right? Jesus, like you figure it's the end, and no, it's not. You just keep getting bamboozled with his fucking face everywhere, and he just can't leave you alone, huh? He just can't. And he had like 4 fucking phases, which is insane. He had like 4 fucking phases, man. Oh my god, that was such a headache. And it unfortunately felt like I was playing Shadow of the Erdtree, not Elden Ring, but Shadow of the Erdtree. Yes, because they're 2 separate games apparently. The Shadow of the Erdtree is in the running for Game of the Year. Anyways, I'm not hating that. Well, I already said what I was gonna say on that shit. Like last year. Anyways, yeah, like 4 fucking phases. Felt like Elden Ring. You had to be absolutely perfect with that shit. Like you could not really take any hits, or I had to like start over, bro. Like I had to start over, right? Everything had to be fucking perfect. You had to dodge certain things and you had to parry certain things, right? Because dodging. Oh man, in parrying, really, you can only go so far, right? Like certain moves, you just have to dodge. You just have to dodge if you're gonna get fucking hit, right? He does like a little flurry of attacks in his final phase, 4th phase, whatever. It's so fucking annoying. You gotta dodge it. You can't parry that shit. I learned more and more, like these final bosses, like you're just better off dodging. You just should not parry at all. You should not parry at all. No, no. You gotta be perfect. And you do have a backup party that comes in whenever you fight, but here, it's just not worth it. It's just, no, if it ended up with them, like, you know, my main party dies, and they have to come and it's just a GG, I might as well restart the fight, and that's what I did multiple times, because they're just not up to the task, they're just not built for that man, bro. Literally, the best, characters for that final fight, if you know what I'm talking about, if you're still fighting that nigga, it's CL, it's Verso, and it's Mayo. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, so I mean that's it with my qualms. Like I mean nothing crazy, right? I mean the game is still peak to me. We can talk about the final story now. So Gustav, you can see as like the main character, but it's really Mayo. Right, and they doing one of those little tropes. So yeah, you play as him a little bit, and then he dies. Yeah, he dies. In a way, quote unquote, die. Right, because the whole world, the whole Lumiere world, Expedition 33, is fake. It's a fake world created by the paintress. The paintress is a real person in the real world. There's a real world and there's the painted world, right? That's where everybody lives. But oh, get it, Mayo. is actually not from the painted world. She's actually a real person that entered the painted world. Okay, you get what I'm saying? And the same thing with Renor, which is actually her dad in a sense. And there's actually like two Renors. It's so the story is complicated in a way. Like it's good, but it's complicated to explain. Right? So basically, it's a painted world by the paintress. The paintress is actually a real person, but she's just she created that world, and then she stuck herself inside of that world. Yada yada, and her family was also joined her in that world. Yada yada. The paintress is Mael's mom. Mael's real name is Aline, I think. Yeah. Verso is Mael's brother. Well, we'll just say Mael. Verso is Mael's brother, but the Verso we meet in the painted world is actually not the real Verso. He's actually a painted version, and that's the whole reason why that world was created, so they can have Verso, essentially, in a way. Because the real Verso actually died in a fire in their house in the real world, and they were all so distraught, you know, whatever, fighting and shit. The lady paintress made a world, and yeah, there we go, made a fake Verso, and they've been actually in that world for 67 years, I think. It might be different on the outside world because, get it, there was another sister. Mael has a sister that lives in the real world. She never entered the painted world, right? But she's trying to help from the outside, I guess, whatever the hell. Do something from the outside. But it's just so crazy, right? And they're all grieving. And Renor is actually trying to stop the paintress and like destroy the world in a sense, like, but he's not powerful enough. He's not a strong painter because there's like, I guess it's like a what's it called? A profession, paintress, painter, whatever the fuck. But he's not a strong. I'm guessing it's just painter for him because he's a guy. But yeah, he's not a strong painter, so it been taking him years and years to try and like get his wife back, or essentially. And being in that world is kind of, I guess, is draining her in the real world, kind of, in a sense. Whatever. Somewhat. Anyways. And Mael didn't really know all of this because when she entered the painter's world, she lost her memory. Yeah, she lost her memory. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Yeah. So, anyways, some shit like that. It's so, I had to watch a YouTube video on it. I forgot to get a better understanding. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. Everybody in that painter's world is fake. And at the end of the game, you can choose to destroy the world because I destroyed that bitch. I'm sorry, Mael. Y'all niggas are crazy. You gotta move on. It's been 67 years. Let that nigga go. Let him go, bro. Like, come on now. They've been stuck in there for a while. Live in the real world, okay? I mean, the painter world is pretty real in a sense, right? Because you're kind of like a god, pretty much. They're alive, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, I decided to destroy that world, let Mael come back to the real world because Mael wanted to, like, you know, she was on her mom's side. They wanted her to keep the world up, yada yada. But I'm just like, nah. So you get to choose as either Verso, where you like destroy the world, or you can play as Mael, where you keep the world. I played as Verso. I beat up Mael. I put her in the real world again, right? And you know, basically everybody faded or like got gomaged. I think that's the word. Just crazy ass name. Gomaged. It sounds kind of cryptic. I mean, it is cryptic, but like, you know, it was some crazy ass caveman word. But yeah, they got gomaged. They like faded into nothing. Didn't exist anymore, pretty much. I mean, it's sad, but I'm just like, you know, y'all ain't real. Right? Y'all killing this family, man. Yeah, it gotta stop. It gotta stop, man. It gotta stop. Like, I was tired of that shit. And they were talking about falling in a cycle, like, you're doing the same as your mother. You're gonna turn out, you know. But Renor was actually right. I was actually on his side. I was like, this nigga, he's spitting. Let him cook. He telling the truth. Like, he absolutely telling the truth. I'm on his side. Like, y'all gotta live in the real world. Like, yeah, you can have the painter world and shit, but you've been in there for 67 years? You're 67 years? The fuck? Hell no, move on. Anyway, so that's all that. once Mayel like learned the truth, got her memories back, because she went in there, she lost her memories, I guess somehow. When she got her memories back and everything, she got her paintress powers. You know, that's when she's moving like Millennium and shit towards the end of the game. You know, you play as her. She got white hair. They did that anime shit. They just gave her white hair. I'm just like, okay. That's why I was kind of like, because when I met, she turned out to be, oh my god, this shit is so weird. That motherfucker that's next to Renor, right? That has the mask on. I was thinking, oh, maybe that's Mayel's sister or something, like before I knew, or like maybe it's another part of her, like maybe it's her future self, because I'm thinking the old dude was like, I thought the old dude was Gustav, you know, in the future life or some shit, but no, it's a whole other person. So anyways, yeah, that turns out to be her. I'm trying to understand, like, is it another version of her or some shit? I mean, it is. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's the time? Where do we? Anyway, yeah. So my mumbo jumbo, but it's pretty damn peak. It is peak. You know, I understand like 80 to 90% of what's going on. You know, it's already explained. So there you have it. That's pretty much. I didn't understand the lockpick feature until like the end of the game. Yeah, I thought there was actual lockpicks I had to get. That's what I'm saying. They like threw a whole bunch of words and shit at me. I was just like, alright, well, I'm gonna just digest it later. I didn't really understand the lockpicking mechanism until I got to like the last Axon that I killed, because you need like 2 things to kill the paintress, 2 hearts or whatever, or like something to pierce her. I don't fucking know. And that last motherfucker in the desert area, I was like, oh, well, shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else to say. Like the game is peak. I definitely gotta listen to some YouTubers so I can like understand like what's actually going on, you know, in terms of like in terms of the ending of the game, right? Because I just need more. And will there be like a Expedition 33 Part 2? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that we don't know about the actual like painter's world. So they can definitely do like another game about that in a way, or like a Part 2. Second game. It'd be called Clair, Obscur or something. Why do they call it Clair, Obscur? I don't know. I know the enemies towards the end of the game were like called, there was one called Clair and there was one called Obscur. Ooh, yeah. So I'll give the game a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, because I mean, I had the little issues and stuff. They're not really big issues, but like if it was, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing really to be fixed except for like, you know, maybe the parrying, quote unquote parrying, and the dodging mechanism and shit. If you want to call that like an issue or something, it's just pretty much a preference in my sense. But if they added more like, I don't know, maybe quality of life feature, you know, maybe some. I mean, I said you don't really need shit at the camp, but like maybe if they added some more shit at the camp, or more things you can do with your characters and shit. But you gotta understand, like, you know, it's not fucking Velgar. It's all, you know, it's end of the world, but we taking our times. We on vacation, bro. We in fucking in the Caribbean. You know, we in Jamaica. We chilling. Oh no, this is a real RPG. It ain't fucking Velgar. So you know, you in a constant life or death situation, especially with the tone of this game, right? Because you in the beginning you might think, oh, it's like a little cool game, you know. Like another RPG, and like, yeah, you kill goblins and shit, yada yada, you know, so it's probably dark in that sense. Maybe it gets a little tiny darker. No, this game is the tone absolutely shifts once you get off the fucking ships for the expedition on that little beach area. So yeah, anyways, 9 out of 10 game. Pretty peak. What do you think about the game? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I like the game. Is it my game of the year? Except for that, or KCD2. I mean, we're almost done with the first half of the year, but these are the main 2 that were on my radar. Anything else coming out, I don't know. I wouldn't count Oblivion. It's like a remaster or whatever. It's really a remake. But yeah, pretty good. I think it's my game of the year. I don't know where I'd rank it with KCD2. You know, it's a short game, right? You can finish that bitch in like 20-30 hours, but it's still peak. The lore, the story, like everything is fucking really fucking good. So It's definitely up there. It's definitely in the nominations, 100%. There's no way it's not going to be in the nominations, but yeah. Congrats to the 33ers or 34, whatever. The ex-Ubisoft devs, bro. Bravo. Thank God for getting out that fucking hive mind, man. Holy shit. Because y'all just made peak.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.